Hello students, welcome to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. Today I am going to discuss about urbanization. In this lecture I am going to discuss about the meaning of urbanization, different concepts related to urbanization, how urbanization is in India as well as in other countries, and different challenges associated with urbanization. So let us start with the first and the basic concept, that is the meaning of urbanization. Urbanization is the process of people moving from rural area, from the countryside, to urban areas, town and cities. This is a very basic definition of urbanization. This trend has been happening for centuries, but it has accelerated in recent decades. Urbanization is defined by the United Nations as one of the 4 demographic mega trends alongside population growth, aging, and international migration. Now, we will discuss about this increasing trend of urbanization, why urbanization is increasing, what are the factors associated with that. There can be different factors. It can be positive, it can be negative also, because when we talk about urban settlement, there is a planned settlement and there is an unplanned settlement also. For example, Mumbai city. The moment you enter in Mumbai city, even when your flight is not landing, you can see that chawl area. That is an unplanned settlement. Even in most of the metro cities, not only in India but all across the world, you may see high-rising building and adjacent unplanned area with that particular region. So that's why I said there are different factors. It can be negative, it can be positive. Now the positive factors are known as the push factor. What are the push factors? What are the factors because of which the native of rural areas are going to the urban areas? So this is a push factor from rural areas to urban areas. That's why it is called as a push factor. One is lack of educational facilities in small districts or village areas. Generally, it is happening that they are not finding a good school or a good college up to a level only. The institutions are existing. Because of this, most of the students, they migrate from small districts to bigger town and then to metropolitan, then from one country to another country. And because of that, it is considered as the push factor. Then lack of job opportunities. As we know, if I cite example of India, India is a country where still majority of the population is depending upon primary and secondary sector, and therefore most of the states, especially northern states in India, are agricultural states where the industries or industrial development is less compared to the southern states. For example, those who are residing in the remote village of Bihar or Uttar Pradesh, they are migrating to Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana in search of good job opportunities. So lack of job opportunity is one among the push factor. Lack of health facility. If I cite example of different diseases such as cancer, you may be knowing that in Mumbai, in Delhi, there are very good hospitals and very good doctors who are curing this particular disease, because of which those who are residing in small areas, those who are not getting the treatment, they are pushed towards the urban area in search of a good health facility there. Apart from that, lack of electricity, lack of infrastructure facility, lack of sewage system. Still, hygiene is considered as a very crucial concern in the villages of developing countries, because most of the people who are residing in rural areas, they are, even whatever water they are using, that is also not potable water in nature. So because of this, they are vulnerable in terms of different kind of health disease, water related health disease. And because of that, people are, if they are efficient enough, they are migrating, they are going to another city area compared to the rural area, so that they can stay longer, they can stay nicely. So one is lack of infrastructure facilities in remote areas or rural areas. Apart from that, low living standard and old traditions. Nowadays the young generations, they have a different lifestyle, so they intend to stay in metropolitan areas, or even they are migrating to from one country to another country because of their lifestyle, the way they want to live. So these were the push factors which I explained. Now I will explain the pull factors. Better and higher educational facility. So once again, try to understand, pull factors is related to the urban areas, means those factors which are pulling people from rural areas to urban areas. Push factor, as I said, that why people are migrating from rural areas to urban areas, that's why it is called push factors. And when it comes to pull factor, better and higher educational facility, better and more job opportunities, better health facility, availability of different kind of infrastructure, again the same thing, but these are the pull factor which is available in urban areas, and that can be considered as a magnet to those who are residing in village areas. Those who don't have these basic facilities, they come towards the urban areas. So these were the factors which I explained, push factor and pull factor, and let me show you the urbanization curve. You can see how this urbanization curve functions. On x-axis this is the time, and on y-axis this is percentage of population, urban population. Large shift population from rural areas to town and cities in response to the creation of an urban economy. At the urban percentage, when it reaches to 60%, you can see this diagram, this particular diagram, which is close to like 60, the curve begins to flatten. It goes like this, and approaching a ceiling of around 80%, then this is the level at which rural and urban population appear to reach a functional equilibrium. Because nowadays in developed nations, even people are migrating from city area to rural area in search of fresh air, in search of fresh water, in search of peace. So now after that the trend goes down. So that is why when any region, its urban population goes beyond 60%, after that the curve becomes flats. So this was the how that urban population rises. And after that, it is important to explain the planned settlement and or unplanned settlement, which I even discussed in the beginning also. So planned urban settlement in India are developed by government agencies or housing societies according to officially approved plan. These plans consider various factors including physical, social, economic consideration to ensure orderly development. The objective is to create a sustainable and a livable environment with adequate infrastructure and service. Here I would like to cite example of different countries rather than different state to make you convinced that how the urbanization trend is increasing as well as it is different country wise. For example, in India still it's a horizontal development of urban areas where people are thinking how to expand, how that the infrastructure development is taking place. But countries like Australia, there they are focusing more on the parks, on the development creation of parks in certain communities where people are residing, apartments, so that because there they want to take care of the kids of the old people who are residing there, and for that it is very important that there should be existence of such community parks where people can do morning walk, where kids can play. So that is why, in spite of, because they have reached up to that level, it's like 80% above, So because of that, if you see the concept of a smart city, in the smart city, these developed nations like America, like Australia, they are now focusing on the qualitative aspect of urbanization, because people are not emotionally connected. So they have this opinion that if they create such places in urban areas, then people will also come together, they will spend some time together, and especially if we divide our population into like 0 to 6 or 0 to 20, then working population, then old age population. So creating such places is very crucial for certain age group. That's why planned settlement plays a very crucial role in urban development. And as I said that when we are talking about urbanization, that percentage of urbanization is not only because of planned settlement, because each city has its own capacity. It cannot grow beyond it. But what is happening, if I cite example from India, if you see Delhi, there is no place left there which people are intending to buy, because already that Delhi is completely covered by settlement. Even if you see Mumbai, half of the Mumbai's population is residing in unplanned areas. So unplanned settlement arises without any legal approval, either on government land or on private property. It's very disorder in nature. These areas consist of permanent, semi-permanent and temporary structures frequently found near the city areas, and the city drains, the railway tracks or the low-lying areas where these areas are prone to flooding, or agricultural land or the green belts surrounding these cities. There you can find such infrastructure, not only in India but all across the world. So these are two types of settlement that takes place, because generally students think that urbanization is only associated with a planned development. Now coming to the trends in urbanization. According to the Asian Development Bank, in 2019, the global urban population has surged 751 million to 1950. It's like 30% increase of the world population to 4.2 billion in 2018. That is 55% of the world population is now urban in nature. Projections indicate that the figure will rise to 5.2 billion by 2030. It's close to 60% of the global population, and 6.7% of the 6.7 billion people, they will reside in urban areas by 2050. Coming to the national scenario, India's urban population has grown steadily. According to the census of 2011, urbanization increased from 27.7% in 2001 to 31.1% in 2011. This is representing a total of 371.1 million people and annual growth of 2.76%. So this is the trend, and if we talk about urbanization in India, this trend has shifted from large cities, tier 1 cities, to medium sized town, influenced by various push and pull factors such as employment, education and security, which I discussed. For example, Indore is a very planned city, Chandigarh is a very planned city. So people are migrating, going to such cities where there is a good infrastructure, there are good facilities and security also. According to Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, in terms of the absolute number of previous living in urban areas, Maharashtra continues to lead with 50.8 million person, which comprises of 13.5% of the total urban population of this country. Talking about other states such as Uttar Pradesh, about 44.4 million people, followed by Tamil Nadu, where 34.9 million people are urban in nature. And the most urbanized state in India is Goa. In the same way, there are certain states which are where still majority of the population is still residing in the rural areas. So why am I elaborating this? Because we cannot say that the country is moving, or the country is in this particular stage. It's like different states are in different stages, and according to that we calculate that what is the national, what is the average of a particular country. Now, what are the effect of urbanization? It can be economic effect also, it can be environmental effect also related to urbanization. But before that, this is very important for you to understand that what are the criterias which is determined by the Indian government to be considered as an urban area. So, according to the Census of India, all the places which have municipalities, corporation and cantonment boards or notified town areas or committee, these are they are expected to follow certain criteria. For example, a minimum population of 5,000 person, there should be urban, at least 75% of the main working population engaged in non-agriculture pursuit, and a density of population of at least 400 per square kilometer, then that area can be considered as urban. You can see that what is the urbanization trend in India. So, as I was describing about the trends of urbanization in India, you can see that in 1901 it was 10.80%, which increased to 31.16% in 2011. But there is variation in the percentage of population state-wise. Like southern states such as Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Kerala, these are more urbanized. Goa is the most urbanized. In northern India, still Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, these are the states where urbanization is taking place at a lower pace. So, when urbanization is increases, you can see this table. In this table, you can see that Greater Mumbai, it is the data of Census of India, and as per this, you can see the most populated urban centers in India. This is Mumbai, followed by Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and as I mentioned that there can be push factors. The push or pull factors, whatever, the pull factor is the availability of job, availability of education, availability of health facilities in these areas. Because of this, these metropolitans are most urbanized in nature. But it's not end of the story, because of the increase in the urbanization, there are different challenges which is coming forward, and the government is really working hard to combat with these challenges. What are these challenges? The first one is the urban sprawl. As I mentioned that Delhi and Mumbai, they have that there is an increase in the percentage of urban population, but because of that the urban sprawl has increased. Mumbai is known for its percentage of population which is who are residing in these chawl areas, that these metropolitan areas are overcrowded. If you see Mumbai train, or if you see Delhi, if you see the kind of crowd is emerging and the kind of traffic is emerging, people are unable to commute to their school, to their office at time, because of that increasing number of vehicles each year, which is also causing air pollution and different other type of diseases, anxiety and other stress that is coming because of the increase in the population. There is a problem of housing. People are unable to get they are, even in spite of the very fact that they have money, but they don't have house, or that their existence of land it has been shrinked a lot because of the increase of the population. More number of people are moving towards the urban area. Because of this, unemployment is also one among the major challenge of the urban area. Citing example of Kerala, where most of the younger generation, they have completed their post graduation, but in spite of that, if you see the percentage of urban unemployed, that is more in Kerala compared to other states. In the same way, because of the unplanned settlement, because of the increasing urban chawl or sprawl, the slum areas are increasing very significantly, and because of this, that is leading to another qualitative increase in the challenges that is known as crime. There is an increase in the crime. Most of the crimes which are taking place, it is because of the poverty, it is because of the lack of education, it is because of the frustration of the people who are unemployed or who are intending to get a job. In lack of these things, they are going to such areas which is considered as a very notorious segment of the society. Apart from that, as I discussed, that there is a shortage of water supply. Hyderabad is one among the best example, because here per day the resident, few of the areas, per day charge of a water tank has crossed above 450 rupees. There is the very less groundwater available there, and because of the variation in the precipitation scenario also, the natives of urban areas are facing water shortage. Even if water is there, the potability of water is in question mark. Apart from that, the sewage problem, the trash disposal, because of the increasing number of urban residents who are residing, and as I mentioned, that there is increase in the crime because of increase in urbanization. So these are the challenges, these are the impact, a negative impact of urbanization that is taking place. Although India is one of the less urbanized countries of the world, with only 27.78% of its population living in urban agglomeration town, this country is facing serious crisis of urban growth at present time. The sheer magnitude of the urban population, the unplanned growth of the urban areas, and a desperate lack of infrastructure are the main causes of such situation. The rapid growth of urban population, and through it may be because of the natural factor or it may be because of the anthropogenic factor, there is a high pressure on the public utilities such as infrastructure, education and health. Apart from that, poverty, unemployment and underemployment among the rural immigration, theft, other kind of crimes, that is also increasing. By 2030, more than 50% of the India's population is expected to live in urban areas, and because of that, all these problems which I have discussed, that is emerging. Now it is very important to discuss the effort of Indian government in this area. As per the Indian central government, as we know that India is a democratic country where it is bifurcated into center and a state. In India, at the central level, nodal agencies which are looking after programs and policies for urban development are the Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation and the Ministry of Urban Development. Urban development is a state subject that being a geography student you should know. At the state level, there are respective ministries, but according to the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, it is mandatory for every state to form ULBs and develop power, conduct regular elections. There are different responsibilities of each state. Under 12th schedule of Indian Constitution, 18 such functions have been defined which are to be performed by ULBs, and for that a state should support the ULBs through finance and decentralization of power. The state and still more is needed to be done when it comes to making an effort towards combating the challenges which has been increased because of the increasing urban population in urban areas in an unplanned way. The 9th plan continued with the scheme of the 8th plan, that is the decentralization and financial autonomy for urban and local bodies. It was realized that the urban local bodies should also be empowered so that they can provide the facilities to people who are at grassroots level and who can understand their problem in a much better way than those who are residing or who are dealing with the problems which are at higher level. Apart from that, a new program that is called as Swarna Jayanti Shahri Rozgar Yojana. It was planned in 1997. It has two sub-plans. First was the Urban Self-Employment Program and the second was the Urban Wedge Employment Program. These targeted for urban poverty reduction and employment, and it was decided by central government to revamp the SJSRY in 2013 as a National Urban Livelihood Mission. You might have heard the name of NULM. That is a great effort by the Indian government. In the 11th plan during the decade of 2007 to 2012, there was an introduction of some innovative changes through capacity building, increasing the efficiency and productivity of the cities by dismantling the monopoly of a public sector over urban infrastructure, using technology as a tool for rapid urbanization. And one good example is, if you see the telecom industries, which had a monopoly of Indian government, is now in the hand of private sector. There are many such sectors in urban areas where the corporate bodies or private bodies are intruding, and they are doing it in a very planned way, in a very systematic way. In this direction, major initiative was launched by central government under the Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewable Mission in 2005 for focused and integrated development of the urban infrastructure and services. Initially, it was implemented in 63 cities, and by 2012, this program was to be continued till 2012, but it has been extended, covering more cities. So these were a few of the plans that I discussed about how to combat the increasing urban population. In nutshell, when we talk about urbanization, the basic understanding is that what are the factors associated with growth in urbanization. If we compare the developed nation, there also urbanization is taking place, but it is in a very planned way, because the infrastructure is planned as per the population. But a country like India, where infrastructure resources are available, but compared to that, the percentage of population is many more times. That is the major challenge. Because of this, the problem of poverty, problem of education, problem of unemployment is taking place, which is leading toward other types of sub problems. But as I mentioned, that our government is making different policies to combat this situation, and it is very important that even the citizens, the native of that place, should understand that each city or region have its own capability beyond which it cannot survive, beyond which it cannot sustain. So urbanization is good, but it should be done in a sustainable way only. Thank you.